Okay, welcome everybody. I think this is the second or third time we've been in the Zoom room, so you know the deal. If you haven't changed your name already, please do so because we need to do breakout rooms. We are going to do some sectionals for sure tonight. So do that. T1 Scotty McAvoy pronouns, or S1, whatever. You know the drill. Make it easy on the people who are sending you to breakout rooms. Those of you who gave us the feedback on the last couple of rehearsals and what you kind of want to see going forward for COVID and beyond, thank you so much. We're already planning based on the feedback we've gotten from that. If you have not given us your answers to that survey yet, please do so. It's an email I sent out today. Just take a second, either tonight or while you're, whatever. We want to hear from you, your honest, raw feedback. The good things, like people said, they benefit most from sectional time on Zoom, or benefit more from that. So we're going to make sure we have some sectional time built into Zooms. A couple people asked if, for those drive-in rehearsals, instead of just the voices being played over the car radio, we could just do a PA with speakers. So you don't have to have your car on the whole time. And as the weather warms up, we are going to, encourage people to get out of their cars and bring lawn chairs with a mask on, the way we did at Warsaw Incline in the fall. Just in the end of winter, it was still a little cold. So we wanted to encourage people to stay in their cars and be warm for that first rehearsal. But going forward, we're going to encourage lawn chair singing more so than car singing. So be aware of that. And the last thing is, for season 10 next year, we are planning to do some sort of hybrid between in-person rehearsals and an amped up version of the live stream. I, as a tech person, completely recognize that Facebook live stream is not the optimum way to broadcast a rehearsal out there. So we're looking at and investigating ways to make sure that we keep the in-person opportunities available, but also have higher quality live stream for you guys. So that's all the feedback we've gotten from, that's not all the feedback, that's some of the feedback we've gotten so far from the survey, and it is going to dictate the way we do things over the next year and beyond. So if you want to have your voice heard, please take a second to do that survey. Coming up next week, we're probably going to be at Carrican again. We're just lining up the details to make sure. So look for an email later this week to just confirm that. We were hoping to go to Fretboard Brewing in Blue Ash, but we were going to save that for later on in the cycle. So we appreciate your flexibility with these drive-in and in-person venues. It's kind of a mixed bag of getting them lined up and working with the venues to make sure they know there's going to be cars of 60 people showing up and that kind of thing. So a little flexibility is good. So be tuned in for that. And then March 23rd, we're at Humble Monk Brewing in Northside. That is going to be definitely one where we ask you guys to bring lawn chairs, simply because the fact that the parking lot is smaller. It fits about 40 cars. So we can park in the parking lot, but we're not going to all fit in the parking lot. We're going to have to park around the area and be a little flexible. So be ready to bring lawn chairs definitely for the March 23rd rehearsal. You guys have the save the date for April 17th concert already. And as always, these Zoom sessions are posted on our Singers Only page. And all live stream rehearsals are just left on the Facebook page like usual. I announced this last week, but any picture you guys take at rehearsal, please send to Stephanie, blow her phone up with them. We use them for all sorts of media, all sorts of fun posts, anything you guys take that you think is worth sharing. We would love to share out on social media. If you guys haven't seen, today, I think marks the 1-year anniversary since we had an in-person rehearsal at the Cincinnati Museum Center. So Stephanie posted a video that we took at the concert, or at the dress rehearsal. So if you feeling a little nostalgic about in-person singing and want to hear the great acoustics of the Cincinnati Museum Center, get on our Facebook page and check out that video. It's just a short clip. It's pretty uplifting, but it also might make you cry like it did to me this morning. So we ran the poll about the Mixicals favorite flavor, the favorite package. They are here. Jen and Jason are here. We're going to toss it to them here in a second, but we want to do a big dramatic reveal. Some of you already know this. If you took part in the poll, thank you for voting. And the winner is the Floral Collection. And I am a man of integrity and election results, and the integrity of elections are important to me, so I wanted to share with you the results. It was overwhelmingly the majority with 46.7% of the votes. Yeah. And in that package, if you guys have sampled it, it includes cranberry rose, elderflower, lemon mint, and lavender peach. So without further ado, I want to toss it over to Jen and Jason from Mixicals. We've asked them to do some cocktail demonstrations and some mocktails for us. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to highlight their video for you guys. And Jen and Jason, take it away.
Woo!
Thank you. Hey guys, I'm Jen.
I'm Jason.
So hi. So we are Mixicals. Real quick, because I don't know if I said it at the rehearsal or while I was there. So we make all natural frozen botanical mixers. Everything you need other than the alcohol frozen in an ice cube. We like to call them adult Legos or building blocks or adult baby food. There's no alcohol in the cube. Essentially, we do all of the muddling and juice making and herb steeping, simple syrup making. And then right before you would otherwise make your drink, that's when we freeze it into the ice cube. And so, and the reason they're frozen is because there's nothing else added to them. There's no preservatives, no additives or anything. It's as if you made it yourself. So, and we actually tell them about where we work out of.
Okay, so we work out of Finley Kitchen. It's right across the street from Finley Market. It's a really awesome incubator kitchen where we rent storage space by the month and hourly are able to get kitchen space. There are in that space 48 women-owned businesses. So shout out to International Women's Day. Was that a question or a comment?
A comment?
Okay, and you know we love it. It's a great community there, full of support and a lot of people who helped us get to where we are. So
I'm doing a photo of our photo.
Jen's taking a picture of the photo. It's very meta.
Yes.
And so we're gonna do some drinks from our floral collection that you guys wisely selected,
Yes.
although you couldn't have gone wrong with any of them. And we're gonna make a set of cocktails and mocktails for you. So Jen's gonna start us off.
So yeah, we're gonna do 3 cocktails and 1 mocktail. But the nice thing I think about Mixicals is they're not meant to be drink specific. They're flavor profiles that you can play with. And we're always kind of finding new uses or new combinations. Or sometimes people, someone the other day told me they always put a certain flavor of ours in their tea. I've had people say they like a lavender peach and Diet Coke. I don't know. So it's
we're not
fun.
gonna judge.
We don't judge. We don't judge.
Yeah.
All right. So the first thing we're gonna do, let me grab it. So Mixicals, sorry about that. Mixicals come frozen in trays, little ice cube trays. And so it's really easy. You just pop them out. So this is cranberry rose. I'm actually gonna put 2. Why not?
Bigger drink, better
Why
price.
not?
Yeah.
And all Mixicals are 25 calories or less, so they're essentially guilt-free. And for this one, this is based on a drink. Actually, this cube is based on a drink that Molly Wallman created for the grand reopening of Music Hall. It's still on their menu. It's called the Rose Window, after the stained glass window Music Hall that you might all know. She was kind enough to share her recipe. She uses rose water, which is something you have to be very careful with, or it will taste like, as she says, a grandmother in the elevator of JCPenney. In place of Cointreau, though, which is normally what you would use, it's sort of a take on a Cosmopolitan. We did an orange simple syrup so as to avoid using any alcohol. So for this one, our ratio when you're mixing with a spirit is 1:1. So this little pour measures 1 ounce. So 1 ounce of spirit per cube. So since I've got 2 cubes, I'm gonna do 2 pours. Woohoo! It's gonna be a fun night. We gotta drink all these, Jason.
I know. It's okay.
And then we've got some Prosecco, just a nice dry sparkling wine, any kind will do, cava, whatever. And just kind of, I don't know, top it up a little bit of the ways. And this one is pretty much ready to drink right away. In general, I like to say, you know, I'm just lazy, but I really like cocktails. So I don't shake them. I guess we could put those cubes in a shaker with the vodka and then add the Prosecco. But honestly, like it starts, as you can see, disperse right away. You'll get the flavor and you don't have to wait for it to melt. You just start sipping and enjoy it. And if you run out of the alcohol and there's still cube, you can just top it off again. So Jason.
Okay. So next is our elderflower lemon mint, and everything in the floral collection is great with sparkling wine and vodka and sparkling wine, but we wanted to kind of change it up a little bit. So I went to UK, University of Kentucky for undergrad and law school. And I live in Kentucky now, and so I consider myself a Kentuckian. So I should love bourbon, and I do. And I should love horse racing, and I do. And I should love mint juleps, and I don't. I find them like really kind of cloyingly sweet. Derby Day had some bad experiences when I drank a lot of mint juleps. So the elderflower lemon mint, though, makes an awesome mint julep by just taking 2 cubes and topping with bourbon. I'm kind of just eyeballing it here, which is a Jen phrase to use for adding more alcohol. And it's really that simple. And because bourbon neat is nice to drink, it's really great to just start sipping this one immediately, letting the mint come out in it. but it adds like an earthy tone from the elderflower, the nice mint, and there's a little bit of lemon in there for the citrus to round it out.
Yeah, that's
So,
a really nice one.
I'm doing drinking now. So.
And I don't know if you guys know, like Saint Germain is a liqueur that is made with elderflower. That was sort of the inspiration. I love Saint Germain, but again, no alcohol in the cube, just in all the bourbon.
Right, so we make a nice elderflower simple syrup for that one that kind of provides a lot of flavor.
This is my favorite. Oh, awesome, great. So now turning to the lavender peach. So lavender, whoa, jumping. All right, I'm gonna use my hand. Sorry.
It happens.
Okay. So this one is the lavender, kind of like the rose, is another one that's easy to overdo. We try to keep it pretty balanced with the peach flavor. I'm going to do this as a gin and tonic. Again, 1-to-1. So I'm pouring 2 ounces of gin into with the 2 cubes in my Collins glass. And then I'm just going to top it off with, we're big fans of, I don't know if you guys can see this, Fever Tree. I don't know. Sorry, there's a bit of a glare. They make they're out of the UK. They're really good tonics and all different kinds.
Seltzers,
Club soda, ginger beer. And just going to give it a little bit of a stir to kind of get it going. But that's it. You know, if you wanted to, you could add a little bit of, I don't know, lemon or some garnish. But,
right. But it's
we're
perfect
lazy.
to drink almost right away.
Yeah. All right.
And so, like as we said, the great thing about mixicles is there's no alcohol in the cubes themselves. So we can also make a mocktail. I'm going to do that with our cranberry rose cube.
And with our fingers.
With our fingers, because they're very melty. And a little bit of orange juice, and then the Fever Tree Club soda. And this one, as Jen was explaining on the cube that we make an orange simple syrup, that helps highlight the orange flavor in the orange juice. And just as it melts a little bit, you'll see, it's almost a really nice Shirley Temple. I don't know.
It almost looks like one of the tequila.
Tequila sunrise. Yeah. And so we're always experimenting with different flavors and like what's fun for us. And we love hearing feedback from people that are trying mixicles. My brother likes to put blueberry lemon basil from our essential collection into his Coors Light. It works for him. It works for me. He gets charged full price though, no discount. And so, yeah, let us know what you like. Yeah. And we look forward to you becoming mixicle fans.
Last thing I would say is, and I know I said this last time, but again, who's there? So I've sung with YPCC. I was a music major once a long time ago. And we're really happy to be sponsors of you all. We'll be there on the 17th. If we're allowed to serve samples of any kind, with or without alcohol, probably without, we'd be happy to do so. But yeah, you can find information. Our website, mixicles.com, has everywhere you can find us around Cincinnati, and we're always adding new spots. Hopefully we'll be at a shop up in, oh, thank you. I'm glad you like the Lavender Peach. Up in Loveland soon, trying to get out into the outer burbs. And we do ship outside of the Cincinnati area on dry ice. So yeah, we'd love for you guys to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and whatnot, and enjoy your drinks.
Thank you. Back to you, Scotty.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. I love that. I loved all I've just been like mixing it with bourbon and drinking it. So I appreciate the different takes on the Prosecco with all these stuff. So that's great. Well, thank you, Jen and Jason. I appreciate it. You can hang out and sing with us if you want, or just sing and drink, whatever. That's kind of what we do. But thank you for being here, guys, and we'll see you at the concert.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you so much. All right.
Awesome.
Bye, guys.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, we're going to get rolling with rehearsal. I did want to share one more thing. I sent this in email. One of the pieces you're singing this cycle is arranged by Steve Malloy, who is actually a good friend of mine. We were at Miami University as grad students at the same time. He's an incredible arranger. He's also the director of the Cincinnati Men's Chorus, an incredible musician and just a bag of fun to work with. He's super friendly, and he's just entered the chat or the room now. So he's going to be here at the beginning of rehearsal with us to kind of talk about the arrangement and just tell us a little about him. And I did want to point out, if you guys want to get a virtual concert fix for community choruses here in Cincinnati, and you want to support the Cincinnati Men's Chorus, you can head over to CincinnatiMen'sChorus.org. And they do have a virtual concert coming up on April 10th. So head over there right now. You can RSVP, put your info in to make sure you get pinged. But I just want to highlight that before rehearsal gets started. And without further ado, Dan is joining us again with Shiloh from Christchurch Cathedral. So I'm going to throw it over to you guys and have a great rehearsal.
We can't hear you, Dan.
There we go. You're spotlighted now.
Oh.
There we go.
Oh.
That's working better.
Hang on. Well, so
There we go. We can hear you.
that's interesting. Well, what you're hearing, so perfect.
Now we cannot hear you.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
Good Lord, that was such a 2020 way to start rehearsal, wasn't it? So pardon me while I X out of these windows. All right, so we just had a real time thing. So I'm gonna apologize for just a moment. I'm operating on a new device this evening, so bear with me while we make some adjustments. So because we just had a microphone failure, which I had not anticipated, you're gonna have to let me know. Shadow, can you fix just a couple of chords? I want to see if the everybody good?
Chords sound good.
So this is us adjusting in real time. And I'm sorry that tonight is blurry. We have a better device for audio, but apparently we have to figure out the visual. So anyway, tonight I'm going to do a little centering with you and warm you up, and then I'm going to turn rehearsal over to Steve Malloy so that he can talk about his artistic vision for the piece that he arranged. He has a really cool set of stories to share with us, and I know that you will love getting to meet him as a person and as an artist. But first, let's do a few vocalizes to get our voices ready. I'm going to actually start you out with things that are fairly simple. And what I want to encourage is that you take a few minutes a day, even if it's in the shower or in your car, to hum gently so that you start to get your voice back in shape, you start to have stamina. All right, so I want, let's see, let's try B flat actually. So a little lower, and it'll be like this. Ready? And go down by half steps. Go. And change. And down. Now up by full steps, please. Full steps again. 1, 2. Fancy. Whole step still. Keep it really nasal. Ready and go. Breathe. Good, and I want you to take a moment, and as you're doing this, to chew, so you're moving your jaw, and also feel like you can massage your temples and the side of your jaw, and even down to your chin, right? And when you're singing, you want that full, nasal cavity resonance, right? So it's a very rich sound, but part of the richness is because you have spaciousness in your mouth. So what I tell my students is imagine that you have hot mashed potatoes in your mouth, okay? So here we go, right where we left off. And nose breath. Now everyone sigh. And then sigh again, but try to access a slightly higher feeling. Good. And I can't see all of you, but I see many of you using your bodies as you sing. That's really wonderful. Externalizing the sound and the direction of the sound often helps us with these abstract vocal concepts that usually are just images in our heads. So please feel free to get up and move around. If you want to keep your camera on, yay, it makes me feel happy. If you don't, because you want to be silly and you don't want anyone to judge you, then you can turn your camera off and then just turn it back on later. So let's start F major, please. So you want to think G-E-D-I, gaiety, and it's a very narrow A and a very narrow E, and we're going to go down by half steps. I want you to access, lots of spaciousness. Ready? And gaiety, 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 gaiety. Giddy, 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 giddy. Fluid but quick. Giddy, 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 giddy. 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 Two more. Giddy, 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 giddy. Last one. Giddy, 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 giddy. And now everyone take a breath in through your mouth and yawn and swallow. And let's do one for flexibility and one to stretch us out. E, ho, e, ho, e. Let's start on B flat. Let's go up by whole steps until we reach B flat or B major up top. So I want you to, in this case, I would advise standing up. If you're not in a great place to do that, that's fine, but make sure you are seated in a way that is elevated, but not rigid. And so similarly to how a jacket hangs on someone's body, right? The jacket has form, but it's not starched and stiff. That's how you want your body to feel when you sing, right? It has form, but it's not like militaristically rigid. So stand up. Now here's the next thing, right? I want you to release the bottom part of your stomach. So if this is your belly button, think about the like 4 wide fingers under your belly down to your pelvis. That's what I want you to release while still keeping this nice and elevated. And then here, if you were to put a belt just above your real waist, very high up, take a breath in and see if you can expand your own hands, right? So those are the two things as we breathe that we have to do simultaneously, a little bit of a low belly drop and simultaneously a rib expansion. And you could even think that you want to expand those ribs back behind you, right? So expanding your floating ribs. So that's the breath that you're going to take through your nose. Let's all practice. Blow your breath out. Place your hands so you can be mindful and do a quick inhale through your nose. Awesome. Now, sigh. We're not used to breathing this deeply. We talk and move quickly. We are high chest and clavicular breathers. I want you to be a low, we call it diaphragmatic breathing, but I really like to think of it as breathing into your pelvic floor. So try that one more time. Blow all of your air out. Rapid whoosh. Monitor and breathe. Good. And here is a B flat. And I want you to imagine laughing. E, O, E, O, E. Yes, sing with your uterus. Here we go. Ready and go. E, O, E, O, E. E, O, E, O, E. Nice and round. E, O, E, O, E. Lift your eyebrows. E, O, E, O, E. E, O, E, O, E. E, O, E, O, E. Half steps. E, O, E, O, E. Drop out if it's too high. E, O, E, O, E. Stopping there. Go down a third if you would, and add an octave to the bottom. So those of you who are singers primarily in your chest voice, in our case, basses and altos, if you want to drop down the octave now, E, O, E, O, E, and really work into that chest voice power, wonderful. If you want to continue to expand your range, I want you to stay with me on the top. I'm going to sing the higher stuff and hope we don't blow out the microphone. And let's do by half steps. So where are we at? We're G. Let's do. I want us to end on B flat. So I'm going to take you up, sopranos who haven't sung in a while. I'm going to take you up to a high B flat, which altos keeps you firmly in like a really comfortable alto range. Same for you, basses. But anyone's welcome to pop up for as long as they want and then go down when it's comfortable. So here we go, G. Ready and go. E, O, E, O, E. E, O, E, O, E. E, O, E, O, E. Really bouncy. E, O, E, O, E. E, O, E, O, E. E, O, E, O, E. This is loose. E, O, E, O, E. E, O, E, O, E. E, O, E, O, E. And now everyone. Awesome. That served both as an agility and a stretch. So now I'm going to turn it over to Steve Malloy. Steve is the arranger of one of our songs for this cycle, and I'm so excited to have him here tonight. Steve, welcome to you, and thank you so much for making time to be with YPCC.
I need to unmute myself. Hello, everyone. Hopefully everyone is having a wonderful evening. Sorry that I missed out on the drinks, but I could not find the link, you know, being as old as I am. Just a little information on how I came across this song. I started studying piano when I was 13 and immediately became a choral music geek. Really, I started singing in the school choir in 7th grade. I'd always been singing in church choirs, but that didn't involve reading music or anything. That was all gospel music, you know, learned by rote. But when I became a music geek, I started collecting just about every piece of music I could get my hands on, going to the music store and picking up just single copies of different octavos of songs that I liked. And my teacher at the time was getting rid of a whole bunch of choral sampler albums. Any of you who are into directing choirs, especially educational stuff, will know about choral sampler, either through websites, but back then all we had were LPs. So I got this album, Savor the Flavors for Choral Ensemble, 1977 to 1988, by Hal Leonard. You know, back when there were like, you know, Hal Leonard and Jensen Publications and a whole bunch of others before they got mostly swallowed by Hal Leonard. So if you look on the inside of this cover, you can see all of my different check marks for pieces I liked and okay. But you'll see, oh, sorry, wrong hand. This hand right here, there was this song called Sometimes. That this setting was done by the Carpenters, which is gorgeous. And Ed Lejeski had done an SATB arrangement of it. And I loved the song, and I thought, why isn't anybody doing this for graduation? It's a great sentiment. You know, it works well for all of those times when somebody's either, you know, retiring or you want to celebrate somebody. I, of course, had a copy of it back when I was much, much, much younger, and loaned it to someone, and of course, never got it back. And of course, it's now out of print, as these things go. Yeah, I've learned not to loan my music out anymore. Just don't, because you never know if it's going to return. So yeah, I know those choral samplers are all by email now, and they, you know, either release them on, well, they did CDs for a while, and now it's just click on the link on a website. So when SMP, Sheet Music Press, started allowing arrangers to publish their own arrangements of songs they had pre-listed, I thought, let's go see if Sometimes is listed, and lo and behold, it was. I had done a TTBB arrangement, a tenor bass choral arrangement of it, a cappella. That was just 4 parts, no divisi notes at all, for when Cincinnati Men's Chorus were actually going around doing Singing Valentines. This is probably 15 years ago or so. We haven't done those in probably like the last 10 years, but it's a good way to make money if you ever, you know, get together a quartet and go sing some a cappella stuff and present A Person with a Rose. And, you know, it really worked for us. In fact, we worked our asses off during Valentine's Day. But, you know, so I did that arrangement, put it away because at that time I didn't have the rights to it. And now I have the rights, and I thought, yay, I can do it. And so I did. And it's lovely to hear that you guys are singing it, that you all are singing it, because it's just one of my favorite pieces. It really, truly is. Just to talk a little bit about the style of it, you know, when I listen to it in my head, this is kind of like doo-wop meets the Singers Unlimited. Or, you know, probably most of you know of Take 6, possibly New York Voices. So it's that type of close harmony, jazz a cappella, with very, as we like to say, minimal vibrato. I won't say no vibrato, because after working at, well, actually after being at CCM as a voice student, opera singers do not like you saying no vibrato to them. They just kind of don't. So you say minimal vibrato, it's the politically correct way of saying it these days. But taking a look at the piece, oh, and I noticed a note that needed to be changed in the bass part in measure 9. I went and just listened to the rehearsal file, and I noticed that the bass note was being sung as an E natural instead of as an E flat, talking about, and those thoughts always center, instead of, and those thoughts, but and those thoughts, just right up the scale. So. And Dan, you had asked me about, is there an extension on this piece?
Yeah, Steve, I was curious if you had a recommended tag, because it's such a short little button of a piece. So we have the time.
Okay.
If we wanted to add a coda.
Okay, so what I would suggest, and there are 2 ways to go about doing it, is right on the last page, we're looking at measure 27. And just how much I love them. Let the alto sing that through line, but instead of singing measure 28, just go all the way back to measure 5.
Oh, all that far.
Yeah, well, you'll see why in a moment. And then have somebody scat while everybody does their lulus or their dadas. Have somebody doing like a.
You're hired.
You know, and they can just go do 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 do, or you know, whatever, you know, and you would do that either up through measure 15. Let me make sure I'm looking at that right, because my pages are now all out of order. Actually, you could go to 9, 10, and then on measure 11, round those we love, which you'd sing probably on an ow or an ooh, and you'd hold that for 2 extra beats. Or 1 off, and then cut straight to measure 22. So either you could do this gap solo up through measure 11 or up through the first 2 beats of measure 15. So you have starting in measure 13. 2, 3, and 1, and. Yeah.
Awesome. Steve, can I ask to run through the first, especially the first section? They learned the last 2/3. But if you could walk the first section in parts, that would be good. Love
Well,
it.
oh, you mean just kind of talk them through the section in parts or play it?
Play.
Okay, sure. Starting with sopranos. All right. So, and have a little bit of air on the tone. If you have never listened to the Singers Unlimited, who's one of my favorite groups, Gene Perling is like he's one of the daddies of today's vocal jazz sound. Or I shouldn't say daddy, one of the sages. There we go. That's a better word. Of today's vocal jazz sound. I would suggest there's something on my hair. Go listen to either the high lows or go listen to my favorite arrangement by the Singers Unlimited, especially the end. The tag on the end is like phenomenal. It's like drug inducing. Fool on the Hill. They just have the chords just go out of this world, and then there's this kind of loop that just goes round and round until it fades out. That is just anyway, you don't need to hear that. So here we go, sopranos. 1, 2, and how far am I going, Dan? To what measure? You said like the first 2/3, but
Go through 15.
Through measure 15.
Yes, please.
All right, I can do that. That's no problem. Okay, make sure I have all the right pages in order. I have 1. I have 2, and 3 is behind. There we go. Cool. With some air. 2, 3, and 4, and 4 off. 3 and 4 lift. 3 and 4 and. I'll play your parts. And 4 and 2. 2, 3 and. All right. I know I played a wrong note at the top of page 2 in measure 10. So when looking at the pickup to measure 9, last note, first page, 2, here we go. 1, 2. Off. Okay, let's do that one more time out, sopranos. 2 from the top and 4 and 4 off and 4 and 4 and 4 and. means so much to me. All right. So just a general note for everybody on this piece, this section up to the bottom of page 3 is kind of felt in a kind of a 4 groove. I mean, if I were to do this with any type of body percussion or any type of side movement, it would be like doo doo da snap, doo doo da snap. Okay, I can't snap. I have arthritis. The fingers just don't pop anymore. Okay, altos. Let's take it at measure 5. Oh yeah, I swear to you, altos, you just got to listen to Singers Unlimited just to hear the female vocalist in that group, who's just a contralto, just clear as a bell. All right, here we go. Right on it. 2, 3, and sometimes off. All right. Any sopranos or altos need to hear any particular notes? Cool. Feel free to, I will play. But really think about the stress of these words. Sometimes, not often enough. We reflect upon the good things. The stresses are all in there. Just follow the natural words. Tenors, you have the groove. You and the basses. Doo doo da. Sorry, I am full of cracks today. As my voice says, anything from like B flat up, it's lying in crack land right now, as I tell my singers. So. Doo doo da. And if you're dividing, doo doo da, and a little bit of a crescendo on that would not hurt. Here we go, tenors. 2, 3, and 4 off. 3 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 and hold on, tenors. And I would say for you tenors, do so. I just read that, Stephanie, sorry. Do your best to kind of stay in a head voice in that range, because I know for those of us who sing in the tenor bass range, that's kind of in crackland territory around B flat and D. I'm sorry, there are times when I write arrangements and don't even think about the ranges and then sing them and go, oh, I'll just stop myself. Some people know that I curse like a sailor. What? Oh. Okay. Tenors, are you okay? Are there any particular things that you need to hear? Type them in the text, or just turn on your mics and let me know. If not, I'm gonna move on to the basses. Basses, you are the mattress that all of these chords lay on top of. These are things I say to my chorus. I'm sorry, I need to get my head out of the gutter, but you are the foundation. You are the rock. Without that, these pretty things on top are just in the ether with no foundation.
Steve, I'm going to put 5 minutes, and we're going to send ourselves to St. Philip's.
Okay, So is that a 5-minute warning is what I'm getting?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Love
All
you.
right.
Love you.
Okay, so bass is doom, doom. And as Dan's talked about, you know, feeling like you have hot mashed potatoes in your mouth, that's what you need to think about singing these notes, that your cheeks are just full of hot mashed potatoes and they're just big and puffy so the sound can resonate. 2, 3, and boom, da, boom, da, boom, da, boom, da. Alto's coming with the melody. Doom, da, boom, da, boom, da, doom. Oh, and those thoughts always center around those we love, 2 and 3 and 4. Oh, so many people and off. All right. Any questions? Feel free to ask, because this is the time I'm, you know, I'm under the gun right now.
So, thanks for being here, and then I'm going to ask Jenny to actually keep you, please.
All right, we'll say that again, please.
Could I have you yourself?
Could you have?
There we go. Thanks. I don't know what it was. Something was making me echo, and I think it was Steve's mic. So anyway, I want to thank Steve for being here tonight. It's so fabulous to have a guest artist and somebody who's so respected in our city and such a wonderful human being hanging out with us. We're going to go into sectionals for only a few minutes. You're getting a lot of love in the chat, Steve. We're going to go into sectionals for a few minutes so that you can ask questions. I told Steve that last week you had learned the last 2/3 of the piece, so I asked him to start the first part of the piece. Now's your chance to ask questions about any part, and Jenny will bring you back in 5 minutes. So, Steve, thank you again, and we will see you again, I'm sure, and we look forward to singing your piece in April. All right, folks, accept your breakout room invites, and I'll see you in 5 minutes. So here's what we're going to do. Section leaders, this is a quick deviation from tonight's schedule, but since we have the benefit of this fabulous human behind me, we're going to run the whole piece using Shiloh, tenors and basses. I think just given the kind of sparse nature of this composition that you should be good. If you have any questions, especially about your divided parts, please let us know. Here we go. We're going to do the whole darn thing. Ready, and thank you, Scotty. Let's go back to measure 5 and 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1. 1, 2, accelerating. 2, retard. 4, 1, 2, 3, 2, say. I don't know if I'm gonna keep that breath, P.S. And just how much I love them. To da da. Good, good. That's so weird to conduct and not hear anything. Also, I'm not sure what parts to sing to help out the folks who are struggling. So anyway, forgive me for not singing anything because I don't have the oral feedback, right? So I don't know actually what's helpful to you all.
Hey, Dan.
I see a hand from Jenny Coleman.
Yep, there's a request in the chat for you to say measure numbers
Jenny,
here.
go, if you want to just unmute yourself.
I am unmuted. I'm unmuted. Can you hear me?
Dan, can you hear anybody talking?
Jenny, I can't hear you.
I don't think she can hear anybody.
Oh, were you talking?
Yep, I'm talking.
Weird.
I continue to talk.
How
Because
strange.
everyone loves the sound of my voice because they don't hear it enough on rehearsal tracks. So
Just all went away.
Dan, are you muted?
Okay.
Jeannie, how did you already fix that track?
I might be a wizard.
You are a wizard, Jenny. Can you guys hear us now?
Sorry, guys, we just lost audio from you all on both devices simultaneously.
We can still hear you though, Dan.
I don't know. That's really strange. You can hear me. Okay. All right, so here's what we're gonna do then. Unless audio, that's so weird. Unless audio fails, then for you hearing me, yes, church bells. I'm gonna go ahead and keep running rehearsal, and I'm gonna rely on chat and text to help make this go smoothly. So music captains, if you can monitor the chat and send me anything really pertinent, I will keep my phone right here. Yes, what did Jenny, what did you say, and should I address it now? Oh, say measure numbers. Yes, I will. Thank you, Tamara. Okay. Goodness gracious. You know what? Zoom is really... We're okay. Thank you. Sorry, folks. Man, this is like, for as great as last week went, this is rough, and we have a better setup this time. So tenors and basses, right? No kidding. Drink. Tenors and basses. I want to start you at measure 1 with Peace
Okay.
Wild Thing. So go ahead and pull that up. That's a Jake Roomstead piece.
Which piece, Dan?
Wild things, everyone.
Okay, so folks, here's what I want you to pay attention to. I want you to look at, so this goes for you too, sopranos and altos. I want you to look at the rhythms that you have in common with other parts, right? So, for example, at measure 1, sopranos, you've got this 8th note, so on beat 4, you come in 4 and 1, 2 and 3, and then tenors, you take that rhythm 4 and 1, 2 and 3, and then here are the basses 4 and 1, 2 and 3, and then sopranos, you move, right? And we turn the page, and altos, I want you to mark that on that measure, measure 5, you move. It's an easy thing to miss, right? And then we have kind of a series of layered eighth notes. Tenors and basses, we already talked about your division, sopranos and altos right now. I'm gonna let you choose your own adventure and we can clarify in sectionals. So right now, I'm just gonna start with tenors and basses, no piano accompaniment. And here we go, starting on tenors, here's your A, and basses, you have a G, okay? I'm not gonna do a lot of expression, just pitches. 1, 2, 3. 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Good, and then we'll hang out. And when I release the fermata, you're gonna get 1, 2, and then mark your scores. Altos, this is for you as well. Even though it looks like you're on beat 2 because there's this gap between the beginning of the measure and your note, you actually are starting on beat 1. So altos and tenors are on beat 1, sopranos, you're on beat 2, basses, you're not until the next measure. Please don't worry about tempo changes right now. Here we are with tenors starting at the 4/4 measure, marked with motion. Here we go. 1, 2. 1 and 2, 3, 4. Basses, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Off for the tenors and basses. I want you to do that one more time, tenors and basses, because if you noticed, the basses move, and you're kind of driving that fantastic crunch. Here we go. Beat 1 of the 4/4 measure where we just started. Tenors, you're leading us in. 1, 2. 1 and 2, 3, 4. Basses, 2, 3. Get ready to move, and basses move here. 3, 4. Getting soft. Off. 2, 3. When. 5, 4. Grows in me. Measure 13. Tenors, here you come. 3, 4. 1, 2. Basses. 3. And awake. 2. In. Yes, and you're gonna lean into that. But and my children's lives may be 2, 3, 4. Page turn. 21, 2, 3, 4. This will all be very free. 2, ching, da, da, da. 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2. I go and lie. 1, 2. Where the tenors. 1 and that's gonna be beautiful. We're gonna break that down for you, tenors. Here we go. And the great heron feeds, measure 27 for the tenors. So you'll see 4, 1, da, da. So it's a strange rhythm, right? It's gonna feel almost herky-jerky. So I want you to do that again so you're used to it, right? Because you have triplets that you need to observe and they're not the same triplets, right? Here we go. P.S. I'm using a lot of music terminology right now that's very music theory-esque terminology. I'm doing this because I need to move quickly, but I'm aware that not everyone has a music theory background. If there are things I say like triplet or meter change or tempo change that give you pause and make you confused, I want you to write down your questions and make sure that either I address them for you in rehearsal, or that your music captains address them. There are no bad questions that you can ask, and I really want to encourage you to always bring those questions to us. And also, I'll try to explain things multiple ways, or for those of you who are learners by ear, make sure that you get to hear it a couple of times, right? Don't let me leave you hanging just because I can't see your faces right this second, okay? So I just want to send a little love to my learners by ear. Here we go, tenors at measure 26. 27. Sorry, I meant 27. 26, take a break. Right, 27, here we go. And, sorry. 2, 3, 4. Da, da. 2. All right, now let's break it down for the basses. Here we go. So basses, could we please actually take you from the molto retard at the top of the page before the 5-4 bar? And I go and lie down, measure 24. 1, 2, and I go and lie. Oh, sorry, let's try that again. 1, and I. Hang on, I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. No, it's. Was it me or was it you? It was me. Ah, it was the pianist! I love it. Yes. It was not the soprano. Ha. Okay. It was me. Shut up, Jenny. Actually, it was me. I said and. Thank you, Jenny. It's not and I go. It's I go and lie down. But Jenny told everyone. Okay, here we go. This wouldn't happen in a real rehearsal. You would just text each other and quietly, and I wouldn't have my shame broadcast over a chat. Who should be singing the top of the yes, tenor 2. When we have a 3-part split, tenors and basses, I want those of you who we just assigned in sometimes to the middle split, you get to do that here too. Thank you. And yes, we have sectionals to discuss all these things, but good question. Love you. Here we go. Sopranos and altos, I'm coming for you, so get your music out. You're next. Here we go. 1, and I go and lie down. 2. And 1. Da, da, da. 2, 3, start your day crescendo, and off on 1. Good. All right, sopranos and altos. Now it's your turn. Measure 1, please. And sopranos, your same pitch is what the altos start with. So boom, they give it to you. Here we go. 2, 3. 1. Altos, you can grow in intensity here, but not a ton. And growing a little more. 2, 3. Sopranos, move. Altos. 2, 3, 4. You're going to hang on to this for an indefinite amount of time until your director is satisfied with the crunchiness of all of the things, and then I'm going to release you off. 1, 2. 2. Pay attention. Move. 1. Sopranos. Soprano 1s, you go down here. And then it has to be perfect. Just lots of space in the mouth, basically straight tone, but not totally. And you want to be dead in the center of the pitch. Okay, sopranos, we're going to break that down really quickly at the top of page 2. Okay, so you'll hear the alto lead in with the C, B, and then you. And notice again, the altos have helped you. You just mirror them, right? They give you the pitch, you hook on, whoop,
but also make sure when you come in, you are matching. This is stuff that you're gonna have to think about in a week or two. The resonance of the altos so that you sound like you're in tune with them. Because if the altos are singing, ooh, which you're not going to because I won't let you sing like that, but if you were. And then the sopranos came in with, ooh, like Ethel Merman. Also, you won't sing like that because I won't let you. However, sometimes we have different concepts of what part of our voice we should use on different parts of the music. So, ooh, just a nice healthy middle, right? Not too forward, not too woofy. Nice round ooh, relax your tongue. Here we go, sopranos, this is for you. At the 4/4 measure at the top of page 2. And do, do, do. Second sopranos, I really want you to hang on to that. That's my favorite note in the entire chord. And then the sopranos are going to come down and meet you right there, so you really need to be in good tune. And then the sopranos come down, and then we all go to here, and we're on the same E. Good job. Altos, let's bring you in here. Here's the alto pitch. And sopranos, hang on one second. Altos, I'm just gonna let you do this split and. But actually it's the alto ones that I really want to be doing this, and I'm singing maybe just like 3% louder than everybody else because you're gonna be the pitch that everybody comes to right here. So you are the ones who are responsible for making sure that we stay in tune and we don't go flat, please. Thank you. All right, sopranos and altos. Together, let's go. Ready and go. Second sopranos are the most important in terms of harmony, but alto ones are the most important in terms of direction because we're all gonna end up here in a minute. Ready, and sopranos, you gotta move down, 2, 3, 4, etc., 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 etc. And measure 13, please. You've got grows in me. All right, wait, grows in me. Yep, sorry, I was trying to sing a different song. Grows in me. And so then altos and sopranos, you come back in. Notice it is exactly what you did before with a minor variation at the end. I want you to sight read confidently and you will be successful. Here we go at 13, sopranos and altos. And he says go slower, but this piece is already pretty slow. I don't know what he was thinking. And then mark that you move. You move again, sopranos. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 1. Sopranos move. 3, 1, 2. Retard. 4, 2, 3, 4, etc. Skip to measure 27, and the great heron feeds. And you are unison. Here we go. 3, 4, 1. Dun, dun. 2, 3, 4, 5, off on 1. Let's do that one more time, sopranos and altos, more for the rhythm than the pitches. P.S. Anyone, any voice part who needs to practice an element of their their part while we are doing another section, whether we're in a live rehearsal together and I can actually hear you, or we're online, the sopranos and altos may not be singing the same pitches all the time as the tenors and basses, but y'all doing the same rhythm. So tenors and basses, use this time to better your musicianship skills, and practice the rhythm there. And then if you want to do like the advanced thing, see if you can sing your part against them with no support. And even if you fail, you've still like upped your level in the game, right? So I encourage that, or I don't know, take a bathroom break or text somebody or check Facebook, but it's your choice, right? So here we go, and the great heron feeds. 3, 4, 1, and the great heron feeds. 2, 3, 4, 5. stopping there. That's what we're gonna do for the moment. I'm gonna do a quick time check, please pardon me.
Again, we are at the top of page 5, measure 30. I come into the peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. Peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. Peace I come into the peace for a time. I rest in the grace of the world. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world. For a time, and am free. And I'm All right. So what questions? I see there's already some stuff in the chat. Page 3, measure 15. Sorry, single page printing is a pain in the butt. Page 3, measure 15. Yes, they should. So that's nice because we're gonna be holding on to this F sharp for dear life quite a few times throughout this piece. But with that one, we do get to just resolve up there. Measure 15, all sopranos are on the G. All right, what other questions arose for you during that time? So if you think of anything, please put it in the chat. Right now, I'd love to go back to the very beginning and just play soprano 1 part all the way through. And then just play the soprano 2 part all the way through, all right? Cool beans. Please bear with. No, I did not want to rename the document. Alrighty. Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120 the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. Peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. Peace. I come into the peace for a time. I rest in the grace of the world. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world.
Jess, you're muted.
Drink. But yeah, I was saying, for the sake of time, let's just assume that we hold that note for a really long time, which we do. Alrighty, soprano ones. Were there any questions or any specific measures that you wanted to go over? I know
Do you know, Jess, if she is just gonna have the sopranos be the only one who sing free at the end?
It looks that way, yes.
Okay.
I don't know if she's gonna go with that, but that's what, yeah. That's what's marked here. Alrighty, so soprano twos. Yeah, the only thing, and there's a lot, and please also, this is, you know, if you want to sing along soprano ones as we do the soprano two stuff, please feel free. I know, like, I'm definitely a soprano too, but the eighth notes, when the music kind of starts to pick up a little bit, I believe top of page 3 with a more motion, that's a little surprising, and it's on a page turn. So if anything, bottom of page 2, and also leading into page 2, kind of like the third measure there. Anytime there's that with motion, that kind of goes, seems to come out of nowhere. So if I were you, I'd like circle, star, eyeglasses, all the things. All right, soprano twos. Let's do this part. plant a great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the peace for a time. I rest in the grace of the world. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world. And am free. And am All right. I'm sorry. I love that. Like right when okay, 30 seconds. I love that when I stop sharing my screen, the first thing I see is Stephanie running. Just, yep. All right. Yes, Sarah. Stagger, breathe as much as you need to. Any other specific questions that popped up in the 15 seconds? Go. 63. Yes. Yes. Soprano twos sing on world, not time. Yes. And again, not word.
We had an epic caroling. One of them you answered about heron, but what about the word wild? We don't know where the vowel is or where it goes.
Okay, so I'm looking at, we're gonna say wild multiple times. Are you, it depends on duration, right?
Well, we were talking like on page 5, sopranos sing it, and like we all sing it as a quarter note.
Yep. Could I have the E F sharp, Charlotte? So, peace of wild things, wild things. So wa, your vowel is going to be ah, your L is going to be very soft. And so a diphthong, for those of you who don't know, is a two vowel sounds that occur in a one syllable word. So it's wild. Actually, it's a 3-syllable word, wild, right? You've got 3 sounds that occur in that one word. So wild. So it's the ah that's going to get the duration. Yeah, kind of a triphthong. Wild, ild, right? The ild is right at the end. If you micromanage it too much, it's going to feel awkward. So what I would encourage you to do instead is listen to me one more time and try to imitate rather than thinking like 88.5% of the way through, I will switch to the second vowel and then I will very softly say the L, because at that point, you'll over manage the vowel. All right, here we go. So can I have the E again, Shiloh? Peace of wild things. tenors, you have this piece of wild things, right? And for you're gonna think thick, like thick things, rather than things. See how much more Broadway it gets if I use the E vowel versus the I vowel? So almost always in choral singing, we're gonna lean toward the more open vowels. So I instead of E, instead of A. And I will, especially once we're together and I can hear your blend, I will tell you, and just PS, like kind of in general, sopranos tend to sing vowels brighter, altos tend to sing vowels darker, tenors sing vowels brighter, and basses sing vowels darker. It's something to do with like the registers we're used to singing in and where we feel resonance. So I'll help us find that happy middle that is a specific sound just for YPCC. Was that helpful, Katie? Oh, I can't see you. You have
Thumbs up, thumbs up.
Yes, very, thank you.
Sorry, when I'm spotlighted, I only get to see like 6 people at the top, and if you're not one of them, then I don't know if you're happy or sad. So we're gonna move on. We're gonna spend the last bit of rehearsal, just about 5 minutes on Let My Love Be Heard. So go ahead and grab that score. And I'm gonna give you just a kind of a heads up. I don't normally give you homework. We have enough crap to do in our lives, but if you would this week, go take a listen to the learning tracks or to the full performance of Wonderful World and Will the Circle Be Unbroken. And I'll go ahead and either I or Scotty in our singer comms this week will also send out some links for you so that you can take a listen. These are pieces that are already in our rep and well rehearsed. If you're new, we understand that you don't have them yet totally down, but they were part of multiple, right? The Wonderful World was part of last year's gala cycle, and Will the Circle Be Unbroken is kind of standard YPCC rep. So if you can take a listen to those and rehearse any parts on your own that give you questions, please do that. It'll make rehearsal go much more smoothly, and that's what the other stuff we would have covered tonight. So I want to hit Let My Love Be Heard, and actually here's what I want to do. I want you to turn to page 5, and we're going to do measure 30 all the way through measure 45, okay? So 30 to 45. I know this is a bear to count. I will simply say measure numbers for you, okay? Remember that it's always about dovetailing, so please pay attention to the part that comes before you so that you know where to grab your pitch or grab your rhythm from. And I promise we'll do this a lot in person. So you have all been, sopranos and altos, you've been on an E in measure 30. And then altos, alto ones, you go do right down to an C sharp, right? And so I'm gonna give you your start I, Shiloh, my other half of my brain. Here's a C sharp, and then second sopranos, you come in on an F sharp. And then, alto 2s, you have a B, and soprano 1s, you have a G sharp. So would you play that again, Shiloh? So I want you to use those as your anchors, right? And now, Shiloh, would you play da 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 da? Would you just play that so they can hear the weaving of the soprano and altos? Etc. So now I'm going to have us go back, right? And I want us to start right there again. Here's what I would advise. I would advise learning at least one of the parts that is adjacent to you. So for example, if I'm an alto 1, I would learn da, 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 right? I would learn the second soprano, or da, 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 and sorry, could I have a B? Da, da, da. You could learn either the second soprano or the alto too, but learn something adjacent to you so that you have a sense of where things are going while you're just holding out your lovely note, right? Your dotted note. Here we go. Sopranos and altos. And then tenors and basses, I'm gonna have you come in as well. So here's your B. Here we go. On the E or the C sharp? On the E, measure 30. Sopranos and altos. And wings, 2, 3, 1. And a 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4. Measure 35. And a 3, and a 4. 1 and a 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 38. 2, 3, and a 4, and a 1, and a 3, and a 4, and a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 1, and a 2, and a 3. Everybody breathe. Yay! Some thumbs up. Do you know what it was like to navigate that? Holy crap. Okay. I've done my job for tonight. All right, everybody, take a sigh. And everybody say, good job. You rock. And thank you also to Shiloh. I know he can't hear you, but if you want to unmute, be like, thank you, Shiloh. We love you. That would be
We love you, Shiloh.
Shiloh, we love you. We love
You're
you.
amazing.
Thank you, Shiloh. Shiloh's so fabulous to work with. We're so lucky. So I'm going to turn it over. We love Stephanie Rennie, and they're so happy that she gave us such a beautiful closing last week. And so tonight I'm going to let Stephanie close us again. And then if you want to hang out for a little while, Scotty will make a few of you hosts, and you can hang out and chat and have a social hour. Thank you for bearing with me tonight with all of the ridiculous tech. I actually have 4 devices I'm working with, and like everything failed at the same time because the dumpster fire is not over. So thank you. If you get survey this week, please fill it out. If you have things that you need to chat with me about privately, you always can reach out to me, even if we've never spoken before. Please, please. I love all of you. I love getting to know you. And so I'm always available. I will make my contact information available in Singer Comms, and you can always email. So thanks so much, and thank you to our fabulous music and tech people who make all of this stuff possible. Stephanie, it's all you, girl. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll just take a breath together, just taking a deep breath in and out. In whatever way makes sense for you, turning your gaze downward, closing your eyes, just taking some deep breaths together. And as a choir, we have these beautiful moments when we listen, when we lift our voices, when we're guided, when we move together. It's a powerful experience in person. And it's a powerful experience digitally too. Different, but touching. In your own day, today, when did you listen? When did you hear something that moved you, that excited you, prompted curiosity? When did you lift your voice? Share your gift, speak in the honor of something you love, speak truth or peace. And in what moments did you feel guided? Something that you felt pulled towards. What do you feel pulled towards right now? What will you take with you in this moment from this time together? And just taking some time here to breathe in thinking of those moments in which we felt lightest today. And releasing that which held us down. You may carry a bit of it with you, but continue to listen, to lift your voice, and to follow that which guides you. Know that you have this breath and these songs within you, and that you're deeply cared and valued by this group. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for being a part of our community.
Stephanie, you are a